this is a Maryland program that has become a fixture in championship weekend. They've been to 12 of the last 13, but this is the first for Aurora accordingly, and a lot of these new players to Maryland.
Ready?
Two-seeded Terps in white, Charlotte North and Boston College in maroon. And it's the reigning Tewaaraton winner North who comes up with the draw control win. She took over this weekend a year ago. Sheehan, national champion, Tewaaraton winner, scored the NCAA record 102nd goal for goals of the season in the championship game. But she came back to try and do it all again. And what a second act it has been. How does Boston College defend their crown today?
It just is doing all the little things right, getting the whole offense involved. Defensively, they've been very strong. But they're going against this Maryland Terrapin team that has been dominant. They had an early season loss against James Madison, but they have been so strong in cruising through this NCAA tournament.
Bell Smith couldn't catch it cleanly. Now Mossman has it. Dangerous lefty met by Emily Sterling. Sterling comes in, the #1 goalkeeper in the country. Best save percentage in the country. Big Ten goalie of the year. It's going to be a tall task for a really talented Boston College attack going against Sterling. In cage for BC, it's Rachel Hall. She had 20 saves a year ago in championship weekend. Big reason why Boston College won that title. But she struggled in cage this season, only 35%. Got 20 percentage points lower than Sterling on the other side.
Some of the biggest games on the biggest stages, though, Rachel Hall has delivered. She was full of confidence in yesterday's practice, though. Ready to bring her A game.
Keisha Walker told us that she thinks that she's taken about 1,000 shots preparing for this Maryland team, so get that confidence back.
Lubecker in trouble. They collapse on her, and Hall quickly off her line to scoop up the ground ball. So quick to get it out in transition to Hall.
It's huge to make the save and then just get it downfield quickly with the quick clear, start the transition.
Dana, so much attention goes to #8 in maroon, Charlotte North, who has it here. But for this BC team, it is not just the Charlotte North show.
You're totally right, Jay. And internally, they don't really celebrate individual success on the Boston College squad. And Coach Acacia Walker said, I don't know if that's a bad thing, but our team internally, it's not just the Charlotte show. We have so many players that are feeding off of her success. And what impresses me the most is watching when another teammate scores. She's the first one to jump up in the air and celebrate other people's success on her team. And to me, that's a coach's dream.
Gotta support each other. The quote that they've been using along with other teams, but sometimes you, sometimes me, always us, that whole team mentality. Different games, different people are going to be able to need to step up. We saw that in the first semifinal game.
Jen Medjid dispossessed. Maryland comes away with it. It's funny, we were talking about Emily Sterling, about what makes her the best goalie in the country, at least on statistically. And she was like, my teammates in front of me. Nobody wants to take credit on either one of these teams. All about the team versus the individual.
She was giving praise for the defense, giving her the shots she wanted, which is so key. When you have a great defense in front of you that you know how they're going to play, the communication works.
And it shouldn't just be up to the goalie to save the ball. Yes, they're the last line of defense, but if your defense in front of you is playing strong, that gives you confidence as a goalkeeper. And I think one of the biggest attributes of Sterling is that she gives her offense that juice.
Lubecker on the move, trying to get the hands free, not clean. Maryland there to back it up. They send it up top to Cordingley. Tewaaraton finalist, Aurora Cordingley, her first touch of the game. Sydney Scales, draped all over her.
Sending the early double teams accordingly, so Maryland's going to need to move the ball quickly.
Clevenger can't come up with it. Batted away by Bell Smith. Talented two-way midfielder. Scored 7 goals in the quarterfinal against Loyola. But she's not just a scorer, she just showed.
End-to-end action possession. She loves playing defense. Relentless on both ends, a threat. Huge playmaker.
And an extreme athlete coming out of high school. She scored over 2,000 points on her basketball team. She was a libero on the volleyball team. So I love the cross sport that you can see on the lacrosse field. She's so quick, she's so shifty.
Had such a stellar freshman year. Set Boston College's freshman point record, wins a national championship, and she has followed it up with an even better sophomore season. Here's Charlotte North. Double team comes in. North keeps it in her stick, settles it down.
As a defense, when you have a player like Charlotte North, anytime she doesn't get a shot off, that's a win. You hear the sideline erupt on that play, doesn't get a shot off. Maryland's known their excellent defense. They send the double teams early.
Off the foot of Sterling, kick save. Resets the shot clock to 60.
Excellent save for Emily Sterling. Now this becomes a long offensive possession. That kick save restarts the shot clock, so the Maryland defense wants to make sure they don't get too tired out, and it's key if Boston College can move the ball and make them shift.
Jen Medjid with 30 seconds left on the shot clock. Back to North. Double team doesn't come, and Charlotte North makes Maryland pay.
Charlotte North, you see her numbers last year, 102 goals, an NCAA single season record. Balzman sets this up. She gets the pass, she sets the pick, and then Charlotte North gets a step on her defender. You gotta have the slide coming. She is explosive. Talk about speed. Her shot placement is so key and precise. Rips that top corner, non-stick side. You got to worry about Belle Smith, especially after her scoring the 7 goals, and Charlotte North is a handful. So good that they play that two-man game. You look at Charlotte North from Dallas, Texas, all-time NCAA goal leader, 2-time Tewaaraton finalist. She won the Tewaaraton last year.
There's a lot of little laxers standing on the fence, and I asked them, who's your favorite player on Boston College? They're all wearing Boston College garb. They got the bright yellow neon shirts, and they all said Charlotte North in unison. They're from Pennsylvania, so they traveled all the way from Pennsylvania to watch Charlotte North play, and they love the creativity. And one little girl said, I love the way she can just rip it from the 8-meter.
A lot to like about Charlotte North's game. I love getting the officials' mic in there where you're able to hear Charlotte North saying she has it. Quite a loud voice, and that's whatever that code is to her teammates, what she's trying to say, whether she thinks that Maryland's got the ball, that she's going to win it, so they know where the ball is going to go, but definitely the communication there between those draw circle members.
How cool for us to listen into that draw control circle. All the officials today mic'd up. And Charlotte North all over this field, opened to score with a great goal, and now goes back to the draw control circle, wins the ball right back to Boston College. Sterling did really good to deny that angle, come out and close it down.
She really stepped up high in the crease there, Emily Sterling did. Gets her stick up, takes down the angle, and then Muff takes the shot.
Boston College out shooting Maryland 6-1. Emily Sterling's had to make 3 saves early midway through this first quarter. This Terps team really comfortable with the ball. They lead the nation in time of possession. They like to wear their opponent down over the course of 4 quarters. Not exactly a team that shoots out of the cannon to start a game. Here's Cordingley. Great look for the Tewaaraton finalists, couldn't bear it.
One of the things that was so impressive for this Maryland offense against Florida in the quarterfinal game was their spacing. They created room for their Dodgers. We're seeing some plays. Grace Griffin wide open in the middle.
Libby May takes it herself, bounces it home to tie it at 1.
Libby May coming off a 5-goal performance against Florida. She was hitting the net pretty much in every way. 7 goals, 2 assists in those 2 games. Great job. The isolation play set up for Libby May. Beautiful bouncer, low to high. She's been getting it done. Really been special to watch in May.
Championship weekend was held at Homewood Field. It was Maryland and Boston College who met in the championship final. Megan Taylor stood on her head, most outstanding player of the tournament. Terps goalie went on to win the to overtime. Maryland won the game 12-10, marked a 5th championship in the decade for Kathy Reese of the Terps. Where the wait for Boston College would continue. Of course, they won it all a year ago. And Kathy Reese said, 2019, not that long ago, only 3 years, but Grace Griffin was the only player that played in that game who is still on her team today.
It's unbelievable. She said this is all new for them, this experience. We talked about the transfers for all these teams, but for Maryland, they've got 2 really integral pieces. Aurora Coinley, this is her first Final Four game. Abby Bosco from Penn has been amazing for the Terps on defense. She's a transfer from Penn. She turned to her teammates after the quarterfinal game and said, I've never done this. And they said, neither have I. So it's a new experience for so much of this Maryland roster.
And on the flip side, for Boston College, Courtney Taylor, we asked her yesterday, transfer from Temple. She said, I wanted to come to Boston College because I remember that game and I wanted to win a national championship. So really interesting how the transfers have inserted themselves and remember some of those losses.
And I think it's key when you have those new faces to the program, whether they're freshmen or transfers, just to have that new energy that you understand how cool this really is. If you've never done this before, you understand how special it is. And not that that gets lost, but I think sometimes it diminishes it when it's what you expect. So it's great to get that excitement.
Martello rings it off the pipe and in. Kayla Martello right down the right alley, fires Boston College back in front.
Kayla Martello has been playing lights out. Last year in 2021, just 6 goals, 42nd goal of the season for her. Watch the spacing. BC does this extremely well. When they clear through and the off-ball players cut through, it makes a double team and the slides harder to come. So Martello is able to take her to the outside and get that shot off. Look at her placement in the line. So she's outside. That black line you see there is that 8-meter. And as a defensive player, you're taught, force them out, get them outside there. So good defensive effort. You got to credit Martello for getting that score. A lot of times a defensive player, you're told by your goalie either I want you to force them out. Usually that's probably the area that they want you. Give them a lower angle shot. Some goalies actually want you to force them to the inside. They like that shot better, but ride them out, get them outside that 8-meter to make the lower angle shot.
Hold. She has it. Shan. Hands off. Courtney, on! Hands off the head. Where head? Your hands on the head. You know where your hand can be. Here we go. Ready?
Love listening to Charlotte North of the draw control circle, dictating the circle play. Courtney on, talking to Courtney Taylor, but it was her fellow circle member, Holly Schleicher, who scooped up that draw control win. BC has won every draw control today, 4-0. North battles out of the double team. I hope everybody at home likes listening in as much as I do, because I'm going to let it, as long as Charlotte's talking, I'm going to let everybody listen in all afternoon long.
Well, it's great insight. We actually asked Maryland Shay Ahern, what did you talk about the draw? We always see the lips moving. She said sometimes a lot of players like to talk about anything. They'll talk about the game, the weather, what's going on. She said she doesn't like to talk. She'll always answer. But then you can see them talking to their teammates, and that's what we're hearing of Charlotte North.
Double team comes in, collapsed on Bell Smith, foul called. Here's North. Double team has not come in yet. Last time they didn't double her, she scored. Double team does come in now.
Great recovery for the Maryland defense.
Any reason you wouldn't send that double immediately?
I think there are other dangerous players, so you need to be careful. Don't send it too early. And I like how when they did send it, because BC wasn't able to find an open person.
Great save, Emily Sterling, to deny a jumping Charlotte North. Sterling is locked in early. 4 saves for the Big Ten goalie of the year so far.
Kathy Reese and her staff has credited Sterling so much for her working so hard in the offseason. Last year, she had a 39% save percentage. This year, leads the nation with 55%. So as much as she credits the defense, there's a lot of hard work that went into her own craft.
And to me, I see the biggest boost in her confidence. And one thing she did during the offseason was, while training younger goalies, she would shoot on them, and it put her in the mind of the shooter, and she made herself believe, and she does believe that they can shoot, and it also is really hard to get it in the back of the net. So that newfound confidence has her playing really key in the circle.
Looking for Libby May. Miscommunication there, didn't get the timing right. That's a turnover. Because Boston College has won every single draw, Maryland has only had possession in this quarter when they can get a stop or a Sterling save. Minutes remaining in this opening quarter. If you're Boston College, you feel like you've dictated the tempo, controlled this game so far, and yet Sheehan only leading by 1 goal.
Yeah, I mean, the possession is going to be everything, but Sterling has come up with some big saves.
Osman feeds it inside. Here's Jen Medjid, who runs out of traffic. Charlotte North eyeing up her opposition. Boston College, another patient possession. Shot clock ticks under 20. Martello inches away, whizzed it wide. 10 seconds on the restart. BC has to hurry. Mossman looking for Medjid, knocked down, and Sterling has it for Maryland. Another great defensive set for the Terps.
Terps defense has been so great, and Kathy Reese gives so much credit to Laurie Kennis, who's been a long-time defensive coordinator. We tried to get some quotes out of Kennis yesterday. She just wanted to give all the credit to the players, but just a mastermind, so well respected by her colleagues.
She's too humble. We're going to get a quote out of her eventually.
When you watch the way that she's coached the defensive players, like year in, year out, Maryland's always got one of the top defenders in the nation. Abby Bosco, this year's Big Ten Defender of the Year. We're accordingly being marked very tightly behind the cage. So BC trying to deny her the ball.
Libby May, great move, hands free, she scores! Libby May! She's got both goals for Maryland today. That one ties it at 2.
When you talk to opposing coaches about Libby May, they tell you you can't take your eyes off of her. She's slippery, she can get open in the inside. We've seen her score her 2 goals though, off dodges from the up top. Great switch to the hands, protection of her stick. Look how she keeps that stick right in front of her face.
She's picked up right where she left off in that quarterfinal against Florida. Had 5 goals against the Gators. Such an impressive performance. And again, she's picked up right where she left off.
This was the Florida game, and she was just scoring at will from multiple different angles. Getting her hands free, sliding into space, great first step. She's able to catch inside of traffic and then just takes the extra second needed to get a great shot off. Does not get rattled with all the pressure. In the last 3 games, 15 goals and 3 assists.
And you have to play her honest as a defender because she can do so much around the field. She might be a scorer in some games, but she can feed as well. Really tough to
Come on, over
guard.
the line. Come on, up. It's sitting in her stick. Come on. Fix, don't squiggle. I'll fix it. Don't move. Okay, don't move. I gotta, it's hard to line up. She has it. Hold it. I'm leaving. Ready?
Now you see why these draw setups take so long. They've got to get
Yes.
everyone to get, the ball is put in the upper third of the stick of each player. You're not allowed to move. If somebody moves, then that's when you see that change of possession right away. So the officials trying to make sure that there's not any infractions, but a lot going on.
I have a whole new appreciation after listening in. Under a minute to go in this first quarter. Boston College has won all 5 draw controls in this game, but tied at 2 with Maryland. Shot clock is off. Here's Charlotte North.
Be a shooting space violation. Good presence of mind for Charlotte North when she caught that ball. There was a lot of defenders in front of her. She pulls it out, gets it to Balzman, who's able to draw that foul.
Smith was named a first-team All-American yesterday. Terrific sophomore season, 53 goals on the year. One-on-one with Sterling. Charges in, lays it off the pipe, and couldn't get the follow. Seems like Maryland is content to just take this to the second quarter.
You can see Coach Kathy Reese signaling from the sideline. She said, just hold it. Hold it here, run the clock out.
After our first semifinal, featured a 7-goal comeback in the final 10 minutes of this game. I don't think either team's going to get a 7-goal lead at this one. Not much to separate Maryland and Boston College in the opening 15 minutes, Sheehan.
Both going punch for punch, very evenly matched. Lots of star power. The fans are out. I think we got a great semifinal. Don't go away.
Tied at 2 between Boston College and Maryland as we start this second quarter. Maryland Big Ten Defender of the Year, Abby Bosco, before every game tapes the initials RB to her left wrist. Those initials belong to her father, Rich, who lost his life in the 9/11 terrorist attack when Abby was just 2 years old. Abby, not much memory of her father, but hears so often from her family and her father's friends that Bosco gets her boundless energy, the endurance from her father. She's honored his memory, certainly on and off the lacrosse field. Such an impressive young woman. We got to speak with her earlier this week. Love watching her play and everything that she brings to this Maryland program.
Such a welcome addition. It was really touching to talk with her about her father. She shared a story about his energy that she loved, that her dad and some buddies did a bike ride trip from Hoboken, New Jersey to Spring Lake, New Jersey. It took all day long. They were all exhausted on the front lawn of her grandparents' house, and he's the first one to pop up and say, who wants to play basketball? And they look at him like, no one. And she said he always had that energy, and her mom will tell her that her energy, and when you see her play, she's up and down the field, and she'll look down at her wrist to see the initials when she needs that extra spark or that reset button.
And what stands out to me is her resiliency, but her positivity. And I love the story that she told us, she and also yesterday, that on his birthday, they always get a certain type of food, Chinese food, and they celebrate, and her teammates have embraced them.
Boston College wins the draw and starts this second quarter with a goal. The Eagles have won every single draw control of the game. You heard Jalen Ahern screaming in the circle. Wasn't happy with the setup, and Boston College wins it and cashes in.
Watch the draw control here. Unbelievable take. North has unbelievable goals, but she's so key at the draw circle. And here's Jen Medjett, number 35, the quarterback of this offense. Acacia Walker calls her the best shooter on the team. Beautiful job, the deception there. She cradles the ball low, and then she brings it topside over the shoulder for the score. The senior from Garden City, New York. Third-team All-American last year. Such a great goal scorer, and has increased her production. Freshman year, 14 goals to this year.
And shooting's really been the focus, Sheehan. In that Loyola game, it was a big point of emphasis. So for her to take this postseason and really turn up a notch is huge for this Boston College squad.
And we're going to hold.
Hannah, you get out there.
Hold it.
3.
Ready?
Compared to the first semifinal, we have a very chatty draw control circle. Every single draw, you see there's a lot of action between Charlotte North, Jalen Ahern, and the officials that rotate in.
Maryland's able to get that first draw control win.
Took just 17 seconds to score in this second quarter for Boston College, outshooting Maryland 11-4 in this game so far. Libby Mays got both of the Terps goals. Number 9 in white has it here.
Aurora Courtney being face guarded by Belle Smith now and Melanie Welsh. They'd switched off. We see a 3 seconds violation. That's when that defender's in that 8 meter for more than 3 seconds, not within a stick's length of a player. The goal is to prevent crowding inside there, so it's a safety call.
Eloise Clevenger steps up for the free position, charges in, one-on-one with Hall. Crease violation, and it'll be Boston College ball.
It looked from our angle she got bumped and pushed, but officials are going to give that back to Boston College.
Holly Schleicher weaving through traffic. She's the one-woman clear machine for BC. So quick to scoop up a ground ball as well. Double team collapses, another cause turnover for Maryland.
Great check by Grace Griffin, the 3-time captain for this Maryland team. Only 3-time captain in Maryland's history, which is so impressive with the leaders that have come through this program.
The only player on this Maryland team that played in the 2019 championship here at Homewood against Boston College. You're the veteran leader of this team, 3-time All-Big Ten player as well. You know a player does it all when you're struggling. Is she a better offensive player or defensive player? Epitomizes that two-way midfielder for the Terps.
And she's changed her role year by year with what the Terps needed. Different years she's been scoring more, sometimes she's more on the defensive end, really does it all.
Lubecker scores, but I think the whistle blew. No, they're going to count it. They're going to say it was a continuous whistle.
She has the whistle for simultaneous, Foley.
We hear the official mic'd up explain to Rachel Hall.
She determines it.
So the official that blew the whistle says it was a goal and it was a simultaneous whistle. That was a rule change a couple of years ago. It is very hard for the defense. So listen in here.
For me, listening into that, I don't think it was simultaneous. What do you think?
It sounded like the whistle happened before the shot, and what's supposed to happen is the shot's supposed to be released at the exact same time. So very tough call there. What's harder for the goalie and the defense is when you're taught to kind of relax when you hear the whistle. But the rule is if it is a simultaneous whistle, which it was ruled, and the shot goes off at the same time it goes in, then it is a goal. If the goalie makes the save, then there's no foul that's going to be awarded.
And again, on a whistle, if you're a defender or a goalkeeper, you're told to stop.
You're told to stop. Now, they have been trying to practice the last few years dealing with the simultaneous whistle and playing through that. So essentially what your coach should do is just keep playing through to the end. Don't relax when you hear that whistle.
In the letter of the rule, the ball's got to be coming out of the stick as the whistle is blown.
You moved early. It is white.
Violation against Charlotte North, going to be Maryland ball. Third tie as these two teams just go back and forth in our second semifinal. Maryland has never had the lead, though. They can get it on this possession. Totally different from our first semifinal where Northwestern scored the first 6 goals of the game. Built an 8-goal lead, led by 7 with 10 minutes to go, and then North Carolina ends the game on a stunning, thrilling comeback, 8-0 run. And the top-seeded Tar Heels await the winner of Maryland and Boston College.
You forgot the 90-minute weather delay that was in there.
That was
True.
key, I think.
It was an unbelievable game. Northwestern, all the momentum.
And both teams chose to stay and watch. So they didn't go back to the hotel. They were at the field during that weather delay watching UNC and Northwestern.
Be honest, Dana, you think they were rooting for Northwestern?
I'm not answering that question, Jay Alter.
BC so dangerous in transition. Smith the trailer.
I think either team, though, does present a challenge, whoever wins this game.
And #1 North Carolina, 21-0, but in the last 2 games, they've certainly been tested.
Stony Brook put up a great fight. Northwestern had them on the ropes. Sam Geyer's back. The transfer from Richmond was phenomenal. 5 goals, couple assists.
McKenna Davis adjusts the release angle, goes low, fools Emily Sterling, and the freshman puts Boston College up 4-3.
Great take for McKenna Davis. 4 different goal scorers for this Boston College team. Davis made her mark as a freshman on this BC offense. Beautiful job with the split dodge. She takes her defender in, split dodge, and then creates separation, gets to the inside of the 8-meter. Acacia Walker, 5th consecutive appearance in the NCAA semifinals, and she still proceeds to tell us that they feel like they're the underdog. That
she has to be happy with that. I asked her about McKenna Davis the other day at practice, and she said she's done playing like a freshman. No more excuses. I know she's really happy with that goal score.
You see in the stands the sea of yellow, and that's been signature color for this Boston College team over the course of their NCAA tournament. They made those yellow shirts the neon so their fans could stand out in the crowd. When they would look to the crowd and see all these fans, they would know who's rooting for them. And as the years have gone by, those yellow t-shirts have grown in number.
Stop moving your stick, please. This down here. 3! There. What about hers is there as well. Hold. Stay outside. Watch that ball. Hold. Abby, to you.
They think they're going to call an off-ball foul on the Circle player for holding on Maryland. So that's going to be BC ball.
So interesting, listening in to the draw control circle. You hear Shaylin Ahern scream, Abby to you, talking to Abby Bosco, who's the Circle player on the near side of the field. It goes the opposite way. Do you think that's gamesmanship?
Totally, I was just going to say, yeah. I wouldn't trust whatever they're saying, because it could be
it's a
opposite.
Game.
It could be, yes, there's all sorts of. Back in the day, we definitely had signals on the draw. You weren't limited to as many players. You could have a lot more players on the circle, but there was different way you would stand with your footwork, different body positioning.
What a great pass, threaded the needle into Martello, who could not finish.
This is where North is dangerous, behind the cage.
Right on cue, Charlotte North delivers.
She can release the ball from any point on her body, up by her head, down to her ankle. 84th goal this season. She can beat the defense in many ways. Look at that split dodge. Defenders don't know which way she's going. If she's going to beat you topside, curl underneath, she gets a separation. Her ability to just get time and room, get her stick free, the release points, that one goes 5-hole between the legs.
It's the deception, and I don't know as a defender how you even play her without sending at minimum 3 defenders to her. And even then, she has that deception to weave in and out of them. It's a thing of beauty, and she uses her stick as an extension of her body. So creative.
2 goals in 64 seconds for Boston College. It's the first time today that either team is led by 2 goals.
Ready? Here we go.
Dana's been trying to clock her shot all season long on the 8-meter. We haven't been able to get the official release from it, but we did hear from her that she was clocked over winter break and shoots about 90 miles an hour last she was clocked.
I believe it.
I'm trying to get you. Here we go. All right, good. Hand over.
3.
Keep it here. Watch your hands. Ready? No, I got white ball. Your hand is on the stick.
So there's certain
Your
placement.
hand is on the head.
Your hand is not able to be on the head of that stick. That's the plastic. On the shaft, it's allowed to be on the shaft, but you can't have your hand on the head, and because that's a different type of grip area, and you were able to maneuver it. So the officials looking at all the details, trying to make sure no one gets an advantage.
Battle for the ground ball, won by Melanie Welch.
O'Rourke with a takeaway too, the scrum for the 50-50 ball.
Two teams that are never going to give up on that ground ball.
18. Get 18 back. 18, you're behind. 18 behind. Whistle start.
The player they're calling behind the goal is behind the player with the ball is the one who makes the infraction. So if you foul somebody, you're supposed to go 4 meters behind. So that's why their officials calling them back.
It'll be Eloise Clevenger, the sophomore, on the restart. Lipkin lost her footing, bounces out to Shannon Smith, the transfer from North Carolina, circles it up top. Now Libby May, who has 2 out of the Terps' 3 goals today. Grace Griffin on the drive. Boston College collapses and earns the cause turnover. Great defense.
Beautiful job, Ryan Smith in there. BC with a ton of pressure coming up with the turnover. Excellent ride for Maryland. Well, that was a hard foul. I think they're just gonna award possession, but easily those extension of the arms in the midfield could easily be a card. Keisha Walker wants 1 too.
Walker, who played for Maryland in her playing days, now has taken over Boston College and turned them into a perennial power. 5 straight championship weekends. And in the previous 4, they are 4-0 in this semifinal game. Tough test to come into Baltimore, Maryland's home state, and try and beat the 2-seeded Terps, but they've been in control in this first half. A 5-3 lead, looking for more. Bell Smith trying to get those hands free, surrounded by White.
Number 3.
Some free position for Bell Smith coming.
That's a 3 seconds violation. We've seen that called. The officials keeping their eye on that in the 8 meter. BC very effective, 7th in Division I on 8 meters.
Smith one-on-one with Sterling. Great save. Opposite stick side. Sterling did so well to move across her body to make that stop.
And great job by the defenders on the right and left side of Bell. You hear the sticks clanking together. That's what you're supposed to do. Put your stick in the passing lane or in the shooting lane to hopefully deflect. Made it a little bit easier to make that save.
Another stop by Sterling. That's 7 saves in this first half. Boston College relentless. They're winning the 50-50 balls right now. Keeps possession alive.
You can see from the sideline, hands out to the side, meaning slow it down right here. Take a breath. 45 seconds left in the shot. Now look at the shot differential. BC with 16 shots, Maryland with 5.
North triggers the whistle.
See a shooting space violation.
Charlotte North on the 8-meter is appointment viewing. The most electrifying player in the sport right now. Already 2 goals to her name today. Winds up, steps in, and scores!
Just a statement maker. She steps out to the 8-meter, and you can almost feel the fear of opposing defenses. 351 career goals. Charlotte North steps and rips it. BC's got the lead, 6-3 over Maryland Terrapins.
What a start to championship weekend of the first semifinal. North Carolina, a thrilling fourth quarter comeback. They were down 7 goals with 10 minutes left, gutted it out, found a way to win, and now the top-seeded Tar Heels await the winner of Maryland and Boston College. It's the Eagles, the reigning national champs, with a 6-3 advantage. Our championship game begins noon Eastern time on ESPN. For more information on the 2022 Women's Lacrosse Championship, visit ncaa.com.
Remember, read it. All right. So I need your hand off your stick. There you go. Yeah, when your finger slides up the head of your stick, it can't be there. Hold on. Hand, let's get your stick set up over center.
So they got to be over that center
let's leave
line.
in there. Are we happy with the height? Here we go. All right, here we go.
You see the pressure of both those sticks.
Backhand, backhand.
Spike!
Backhand over center, please. Backhand, white, good. Yep, here we go. Leave him there. Hold on.
This is one of the reasons these players don't like to play
Ready?
with this draw stick, and they switch out for the field stick. The ball gets into a weird spot in that pocket that it can make it be throw differently. It's manufactured a little bit differently. So after they take this draw, you often see them switch the sticks to get their field stick, different than their draw stick.
Yellow card comes out. Abby Bosco did so well to win this for Maryland.
Watch this play, and then you see the stick into the face. So Boston College, Courtney Taylor, number 27, will be sidelined for up to 2 minutes.
You don't typically see that happen with Courtney Taylor. She's able to make those checks without losing body position, but that time, good call by the officials.
Abby Bosco, Big Ten Defender of the Year. Incredible when you consider that she transferred in from Penn, where she really hadn't played in a competitive game in 2 years. Came in, took to the Maryland lacrosse culture like a fish in water.
So many of these players had such a tough road with COVID, but the Ivy League players, it was just a whole different experience with 2021 being canceled, and she and her teammates rented a field so they could practice, because she said, I want to, as a captain, I want to make sure this program's better than when I came here, and have the freshmen be able to have the experience playing against other college players.
I've had it for, you're hanging in. Hatch here, you're going behind. I had the flag. It wasn't when you got out.
They're talking about the 3 seconds violation. So if you get out of there within 3 seconds, the count restarts. But she's saying, I had the flag up. You were already in penalty, even though you thought you were out.
Maryland woman up. Do you go to goal here if you're Shannon Smith, or do you pull it out for a better shot?
I think it depends how confident you are in the 8-meter. I would take this angle, a right-handed player going into the 8-meter. You think you have it.
Smith decides to pull it out. 45 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Cordingley. Barely touched it in this first half. Great pass. Great save. Rachel Hall with her first of the afternoon, and it's a big one. BC launches straight into an attack. So dangerous in transition. Look out. Bouncer goes over.
Offsides on red. We're still in the penalty. Offsides on red.
That's a big call, because if Boston College decides not to go to goal and just kill that woman up penalty for Maryland, get it back to even strength, instead they force it, they call offsides, and now Maryland has the ball back with more than 30 seconds, a woman up.
Plenty of time to get a shot off.
One thing I would say is this Terps team, #1 in time of possession in the country this season. They're not used to playing so much defense. The offense has barely had it in this first half.
It's been hard to get into a rhythm. Libby May with 2 of the goals, the first 2 goals. Hannah Lubecker with the 3rd.
Great cut, everything but the finish for Ahern. Right back to Ahern, and this time she finds the back of the net.
The face guard was released from Aurora accordingly, gave her a little bit of room. She was able to operate behind the cage. Jalen Ahern, 2-time second team, all Big Ten selection. Huge leader on the draw. Great look here. Courtney from behind finds Ahern up top with so much room. Couple steps in there to generate the power. Beautiful overhand shot. See the little pump fake up there. Just causes the goalie just to freeze ever so slightly.
Maryland's first goal in 9 minutes. It ends a 3-0 Boston College run.
Way too low. Can we get a compromise here at the waist? Ooh, sorry, at the waist. Hip, sorry. Okay. You like to hear, I like to hear. That's good. I'm going to open. Please don't bring your stick down. Yep, just keep it both of you. And hold. Up, up, spike. And up red with the bottom arm red. Good. I'm leaving. Hold. Ready?
Love that access. Can't get enough.
Unbelievable sound.
Big draw control win for Maryland as well.
It's so interesting because you are on opposing teams, but you almost have to work together to keep the ball in both of the sticks and also level. It's just an incredible craft, and over the years, the draw circle has become such a dedication that you see these players studying film, watching tendencies, really different in the last 5 or 6 years. It's really elevated the women's lacrosse game.
You see even the circle players lining up differently. Sometimes they're on that large black circle. Right now, the last couple draws, they've been set back a couple feet so they can run inside. They're anticipating a longer, higher draw.
Here's Lubecker, has a step on Balzman. Draws the foul.
Check. I had you across her body and then up and over. The check was fine. I'm drawing a flag for the first foul. Back up your foot, Red.
I love hearing this sound because that check did look clean, but we're not seeing the first foul is what got called.
And Lubecker cashes in on the free possession. Back-to-back Maryland goals.
Being successful on the 8-meter is so crucial in women's lacrosse. Lubecker is an unbelievable goal scorer. Great accuracy. She was actually homeschooled her entire career from preschool through high school. Came to University of Maryland. Her home state of Maryland, she's getting to play in for her home school.
How do you get recruited as a homeschooled kid?
She did play on club teams, but it had a very unique experience, and didn't know if necessarily she wanted to play college lacrosse, and was recruited from her Skywalker's club team.
And what's even more impressive is when we asked her, coming to the transition to college where there's 30,000 kids at Maryland, she said, I wasn't fazed by it. No shell shock at all. I think that speaks to her character and the competitive nature.
Draw control battle, so interesting. Boston College won the first 6. Since Maryland has won 5 of the last 6.
Awesome. Come on up.
We're gonna position it there. Hang on. And there. I'm leaving. Ready? 24 has it. 24 has it.
Everyone's fighting for these balls. Maryland started with the draw control 0-6. Since that, they've gone 6 out of 7.
Not injured or anything. Okay. We're good? Okay.
This is more the brand and the style of lacrosse that Maryland is used to playing. Winning the draw, wearing the defense down. In the first quarter, they had not a lot possession. All the focus was on their defense and Emily Sterling, which it has not been in the first 20 games this season. But they've adjusted really well, and now they're back on the front foot. Here's Libby May. Great pass. Maryland makes it 3 straight goals to tie it at 6.
The momentum has changed as Maryland has gotten more possessions coming off the draw control. Shannon Smith, the UNC transfer, gets her 25th goal this season. The Maryland faithful are out. Great look here. Libby May, who's drawn a lot of attention going to cage, finds Shannon Smith wide open in the middle. Great turn. She takes this shot, takes this pass, turns, and then shoots to space, the opposite corner. I think there was a miscommunication defensively for Boston College. A lot of chasing in that play.
We talk a lot about the transfer portal. Well, a player at each position. Accordingly at attack, Abby Bosco. In defense, Shannon Smith in the midfield, making that instant impact in their grad year.
Maryland has been so really benefited from that transfer portal, finding the right players to come in. Maryland's on a 3-0 run in the last minute and 39 seconds. This is a game of momentum. We saw the different shifts in the first semifinal. BC had the 6-3 lead, and now Maryland has battled back.
Ready?
Another draw control win for the Terps. Maryland with all the momentum in this game. They've scored 3 goals in a row. Make it, take it lacrosse right now for the 2-seeded Terps.
Accordingly, still being face guarded. Opting to pull herself out of the play right now. You can see her in the bottom left of the screen. So now BC, this will open things up for this Maryland offense. Playing 6-on-6.
One minute left in this second quarter. What a goal! The reverse shovel to the back of the net. Eloise Clevenger fires Maryland in front.
Beautiful shovel shot for Clevenger. Last 3 games, she's been on fire. 5 goals, 9 assists. Is the change of levels here of the shot. So she turns it, the scoop, and a little Twizzler shot. She got the flip of the wrist there, which is able to place it in that top corner. But the stick goes low, down hip level, twist to the wrist, flips that high.
And she's been so impressive. She didn't get a lot of playing time last year. And she's come in, and Kathy Reese said that she's loved watching her blossom. She can run the X game accordingly. She can feed, she can score.
Let me slide you this way.
Her sister Shay plays for Loyola. Boston College knocked Shay and the Greyhounds out in the quarterfinal. And their mother Elizabeth battling breast cancer this season. So desperately wanted those 2 sisters to meet in the semifinal, but Eloise is here, and she has fired Maryland in front.
she's been one of those players. All these teams seem to have a player that's exploded the second half of the season. And Eloise Clevenger's really elevated her game.
Maryland has won the last 6 draws. They've used it to go on a 4-0 scoring run over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. 3-goal Boston College lead has turned into a Maryland slight edge. 4 goals on 4 shots to close out this second quarter. Maryland with all the momentum. Got 10 seconds here before halftime to tack on one more. Mays open, they tried to get it to her, knocked down by Sydney Scales. 2 seconds left. That will do it for this first half. Maryland erases a 3-goal deficit to take their first lead of the afternoon headed into halftime.
Back and forth action between these two teams. BC's going to have to try to figure out something differently on the draw. Maryland's been able to make their adjustments and string together the goals to take the first lead of the game.
Charlotte North, she's got 3 goals to her name, but Boston College trailing by 1. It was Maryland who dominated the end of that half, and Dana's down with Terps head coach Kathy Reese.
Coach Reese, down at 6-3 at one point. How did you climb back?
Well, I think, listen, this is quite the environment. This is so much fun, and we're just really focused on one play at a time. And that's what we told them. We came in and listen, like, we need to win the next play, and that's it. Let's keep our heads in the right place and just kind of chip away one play at a time.
When you talk about chipping away defensively, you were able to disrupt Boston College. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, our D, I think we've had moments where we've been great. We've missed a couple, but Emily's playing great in the cage. Our slides are getting where they need to be. We've had some long possessions, so I think we can do a little bit better job in the second half on the offensive end of just being confident with the ball and maybe just kind of taking care of each possession a little bit more.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
Jay?
Kathy Reese and her Maryland Terps, a 1-goal lead at halftime. Looking to add to Kathy Reese's 5 national championships. What a half, what a semifinal it has been today in Baltimore. On the other side, you'll be with the Sound On crew, Tari and Amari and Mike Corey. What a start to championship weekend we've had in Baltimore. North Carolina, 7-goal thriller in that fourth quarter, came down, huge comeback, and now these two teams, Maryland and Boston College, Sheehan, not much to separate them. Boston College nosed in front, but Maryland ended strongly. 4 straight goals to take the lead at half.
I think the biggest difference was Maryland winning those draw controls, converting on the possessions. BC has more shots, but hasn't been able to convert on many of those, and Boston College just 1 save right now, so they need to make sure that they really lock down on those Maryland offensive players.
It's a Maryland team that leads the nation in time of possession, and for much of that first half, the ball was in the stick of Charlotte North and the Boston College offense. It wasn't until the late part of the second quarter where they really controlled the tempo of that game. Dana, what did you learn at the half?
I talked to Coach Keisha Walker Weinstein coming out of the locker room, and she said, we sort of hurt ourselves. We were all on a different agenda. We got to make sure that those 3 big momentum shifts, we manage that and just play Boston College across, share the ball, win the draw off the possession, and do all of the things really well that we did in that first quarter, Jay.
BC, the reigning national champions in this sport. Rachel Hall, the goalkeeper who we just showed you, was so clutch last year on this weekend. 20 saves last championship weekend. She only had 1 save in that first half.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just going to have to change. And we talked to her yesterday, 3! So confident coming into this game. So it's a lot about the shots she's seeing.
Hey, Eagles! Shan wants to drive! Straighten out for me, Red, on the line. Yep. Hold. Hold it!
Love listening into that draw control circle. We've done it all afternoon. Maryland picks up where they left off. Won 8 draw controls in that second quarter to Boston College's 2. Allowed them to come back from 3 goals down to take the lead to start this third quarter. They've won 9 out of the last 10. Accordingly, with no angle Taylor somehow squeezes it past Rachel Hall. And Maryland takes their first 2-goal lead of the day.
Courtney being shut off and trying to be face guarded, one of the 5 remaining Tewaaraton finalists. 116 points on the season. She's got great speed, but this ability, she's basically at goal line extended, lets this one rip. I think they thought she was going to go behind the cage. Beautiful placement. Looks like Hall just dipped down a teeny bit. You see her crouch a little bit, opens up the net, and Courtney is able to slip it by.
Yeah, it's a homecoming for the Canadian. And you can, wait, what? This isn't being played in Canada, but she spent 4 years at Johns Hopkins. Homewood was her home field for those 4 years. That's who's hosting championship weekend. And boy, has she made the most of her 1-year grad year, moving to a Big Ten rival in Maryland, but she has given them such a spark.
Such life. She's 9th in Johns Hopkins history in career points with 182, and making her mark on this Maryland program.
Ready?
And it is a fine balance, Sheehan, with all the transfers. When you come in, you don't want to step on the toes of the players that have been there longer than you, but you also want to prove your worth. And when we talked to her at practice, she said, I felt immediately comfortable and confident at Maryland, and I did show the coaches that I belong and believe to be on the field.
We talked about playing at Homewood too. She said, well, it's really cool. I get to be on my own home bench with them being the number 2 seed on the home bench side.
Martello spinning her way in, off the pipe, inches away from making it a 1-goal game. Boston College hasn't scored since the 5:33 mark in the second quarter. So a team so known with piling up the pressure, such an electric offense with Charlotte North leading the way. They have failed to score in almost 8 minutes of play. It's allowed Maryland to go on a 5-0 run. What has impressed you most about this Terps team today, Sheehan?
I think that making the adjustments on the draw control weren't winning them. They've been able to open up the different scoring. The way they've operated the face guard with Courtney still getting her the ball. Great takeaway here, Rachel Hall getting possession for Boston College.
Courtney Taylor clears it. Talk about impact transfers. Courtney Taylor's been a big one, coming over from Temple. Second team All-American, first team ACC player. Get the feeling Boston College could really get a goal. They go to Charlotte North, who has 3 today. Double team. Contact, no call. Give and go, Weeks. Exactly what the Eagles needed. Cassidy Weeks delivers.
This play starts because of the defense reaction when Charlotte North has the ball. You want to send the double teams early. North tries to drive here. All the defenses work. You see their eyes. They're all focused on Charlotte North. She pulls out, doesn't have anything. Moves the ball, and this is why the play happens. It is the one more pass, the give and go. Medjid right back to Weeks, and Weeks with the finish. Great play here, and the extra pass is why BC is able to have success on that score.
And we talked to Charlotte's teammates, Sheehan, and they all say Charlotte takes a lot of that pressure off of us. So when we get the ball, we get to feel free when we play it, and you saw it develop on that play.
Totally. When the ball is in Charlotte North's stick, the defense starts to panic, and I liked how North moved that ball. Instead of trying to re-dodge again, trying to force things, she moved it and still was able to create something offensively.
Get this ball in the air. Here we go. Ready?
That Cassidy Weeks goal ends a 5-0 scoring run for Maryland. Terps back on the ball here after the draw control win. Last time the championship weekend for women's lacrosse was held at Homewood Field in Baltimore, home of Johns Hopkins. It was Boston College and Maryland that met in the final. 3 years ago in 2019. These two programs meeting now in the national semifinal. North Carolina awaiting the winner. Lou Becker on the move. Foul called.
You're here. You're up in her back. Here. Behind. Before the check. Before the check.
Sydney Scales not happy with that call.
But the foul is the foul. I need you here. I need you here. Please.
Lou Becker charges in and blows it past Rachel Hall. Maryland cashes in on the free position. Regains a 2-goal lead.
No BC defender lined up on Lou Becker's right side, which allowed her to have a lot more time and room going in on the 8-meter. Defensively, you want to have people on either hash marks on either side. But Lou Becker wide open on that right-hand side, her stick side. She's able to go in. Watch the angle and what she's seeing here. Hall again dips low, bites on that fake. So tough for a goalie to score on these to save on these 8 meters. Different approach. You see Lou Becker move her head down, throws in a little head fake.
I think it's becoming common knowledge that when Lou Becker gets her hands free, she is going to release a rocket. And you said it, no one on her right side, so she's really able to take advantage of that space, get her hands free, get more of a shot placement on Rachel Hall.
And it looked like Sydney Scales, a player that had to be put behind, was pointing to somebody, but it was too late for somebody to move. But that's the kind of communication you need defensively to make sure everyone's lined up.
Okay? All right. Don't twist, nobody. It was clean open. Now we're gonna hold it. Don't go down.
And the other.
Ready?
North trying to win it to herself. It'll be BC ball. Schleicher was shoved in the back. Maryland answers with that goal 41 seconds after Boston College scored to make it a 1-goal game. These two teams going back and forth. Great pressure. Relentless ride for Maryland creates the turnover. Taylor not giving up on the play. Gets it right back for BC.
The check you're used to seeing from Courtney Taylor. It's really difficult as a defender to check and not lose body position, but way to fight when she got it checked by the Maryland players. Got to fight for that.
And I love how she didn't give up. Sometimes you get dejected when you get the ball taken away. You cannot hang your head. You just go back into defense mode.
Medjid whizzes it wide. Emily Sterling been so comfortable in goal. 7 saves for the Big Ten goalkeeper of the year.
BC's put up 21 shots. Maryland's just gotten off 12 shots, so a huge disparity there.
But it's the Terps with a 2-goal lead. Here's Charlotte North. 3 goals to her name today. Double team comes in, passes out of it. Belle Smith, fellow first-team All-American. Finds Mossman. Dangerous lefty. Flips it to the freshman, McKenna Davis.
Good defense.
No foul called.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
Yep, Medjid will get the reset. Looks like isolation play set up for North.
All eyes on North. Trying to get those hands free. Goes low, misses it wide. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. BC has to hurry off the restart. Not going to get a shot off. Great defensive possession by this Maryland team.
You don't see those expirations of the shot clock happen that often to this Boston College team, and that's why the defense gets jazzed up. That's a huge win.
Going back to that 2019 national championship we were just talking about a few moments earlier, with these two teams met in the final. Maryland won at 12-10 here at Homewood Field. Speaking with Acacia Walker, she said although the players have changed, it was 3 years ago, a lot of graduations, the programs have remained the same. The core culture of the programs have remained the same, and she felt like she didn't have enough offensive adjustments in that final against the Maryland defense. You see a shot clock violation there. You wonder what Walker's going to come up with on the sideline as she continues to adjust in the chess match that is Acacia Walker and Kathy Reese on the sideline.
It was very interesting talking to her. That loss still stings. Great save, much needed save for Rachel Hall. Good outlet pass. That she remembers this field, the pain. That team had so much talent for Boston College. Kenzie Kent, Sam Apuzzo, and Dempsey Arsenal.
What a goal! Jen Medjid, a perfect transition goal off the Rachel Hall save. You can't draw up transition play better than that.
Much needed. Hall gets her second save of the day. Medjid, so efficient, 57% shooting, 16th in Division I. Look at the ball do the work. It's so pretty with it in the air. Beautiful passing, and Medjid gets to the inside with a great finish against Emily Sterling. Defense to offense, you love that. You can see the whole defensive unit felt a part of that. They were celebrating end to end.
Took just 15 seconds from the Rachel Hall save to the Jen Medjid goal.
We'll get comfortable for both of you. I like that. Oh, no, I'll drop it.
Her head is open.
No,
her head is
both of you are. Come on, come on.
My head is
parallel.
not open.
I'm going to open it, and I did, and we're going to hold and pinch. I'm leaving. Don't move. Ready?
Here's Libby May. Scored the first 2 goals of the game for Maryland, been quiet since.
Great defensive footwork.
Lou Becker working against Belle Smith, lost her footing, did well to get it off to Libby May. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Jordan Lipkin weaving her way in, has a step, dove into the crease. We're going to count the goal.
See Rachel Hall not happy with that. We'll have to see if she got pushed in the crease.
If she's pushed into the crease, it's a fair goal.
It can be. It all depends on where the ball is. Let's look at here. Looks to me like there's a dive in there, and that's you're not able to go with your body into the crease, but the officials call it a goal, and Maryland up 10-8.
A lot of lacrosse. Shannon and I looked at this during the break. Should not be a goal.
I don't think so. I mean, that's a dive in the men's game. That would not be considered a goal either. It's very dicey. Basically, when you look at the rule book, as a shooter, your stick can go inside the crease. Your body is not supposed to go in there. On occasion, we will see goals that are counted as goals in the women's game because they get pushed inside and the ball has gone over the goal line. But the way that that looked from our angle, now we've seen many different angles working TV. Depends what the officials saw. It did not look like that should be a goal call from what we were shown.
Absolutely. The intent looked like it was a dive into the crease, so that's illegal. Instead, it counts as a Maryland goal. There's no replay or review. Boston College can't challenge. Acacia Walker, BC head coach, was livid during the timeout. She spent the entire timeout barking at the officiating crew. Dana, you spoke with her walking out of that huddle. What did she have to say?
To put it lightly, she said that was a bad call, and I don't disagree with her. That's a real call that can change the momentum of a game, and you guys don't have the best angle up there. I know you have a monitor, but down here, definitely not a goal in my eyes.
Boston College player down on the near side of the field. It's Hunter Roman, the sophomore defender out of St. Anthony's on Long Island.
Yeah, come on out. They ran into each other, yeah. Shoulder, yeah.
Now, the ball was on the complete opposite side of the field, but Roman went down. It stays down. Roman was such an integral part of the national championship a year ago. Boston College winning it at Towson. First championship in school history. She was just a freshman on that team, but started on the defensive group the entire year. Has had a strong sophomore season as well. Will check out of this game. We'll try and get you an update as soon as possible. She's got a smile, so that's good.
Yeah, it's got a smile. Sometimes just a little shaken up. I didn't see the collision.
And the ball couldn't have been farther away from where Roman went down. Restarts, Boston College trailing by 2 after that controversial Maryland goal. BC out shooting Maryland 24-15, but they don't have the lead. Emily Sterling's been a rock star in cage, but can't stop that one. Kayla Martello blows it right by the Big Ten goalie of the year.
Been really impressed with Kayla Martello's play. She dodges hard from up top. 57% shot percentage leads the team. That's absolutely amazing. Working hard to get her hands free. Back and forth, dodges to the inside, goes to the outside. And then a good job. It's really hard if you're a goalie to track that ball. When you take your stick and you do a little roll dodge and turn to the other side, you screen the goalie from seeing the ball in your stick and you release it so quickly.
Tremendous growth from Kayla Martello, in my opinion, and she really worked in the last few games, working not just on catching in tight spaces, but dodging in tight spaces. And don't let that initial pressure of a defender rattle you. And she's a young player. She's just a sophomore and has made tremendous leaps for this Boston College squad and has really come up big in the postseason.
Outside of Charlotte North and Jen Medjid, this is a really young Boston College team.
Belle Smith, just a sophomore, one of their stars. They've got a lot of young talent out there, continuing to get great recruiting classes. Belle Smith, one of those players who's had an amazing game against Loyola, 7 goals. Has not scored a goal this game, making impact different ways.
0 goals, 0 assists for Belle Smith, the super sophomore. First team All-American. Maryland has done a nice job shutting her down. Smith with it here. Double team comes in, passes out of it. Great rotation. Medjid trying to muscle her way in. Got a clean look, but sent it high. Medjid again, the bouncer goes over.
Sometimes those bounce shots that go over the goal, you're just trying so hard with so much power. Want to make sure you bounce that in closer into the goal circle, into that crease area.
White, push her in. White 1, you're behind. Center hash, white 1.
You hear it right from the officials. They put you on that hash mark closest to where the foul occurs. They want her on the center hash mark. And they're going to put Abby Bosco, number 1, behind, since she was the player that made the infraction. Great look here. Every other player needs to be 4 meters away on each hash mark.
Caitlin Mossman, the lefty. From straight away, one-on-one with Sterling.
Ball starts, so we're gonna have a change of possession. What a
Big
pickup.
ground ball pickup by Shannon Smith. Timeout, Kathy Reese. Her first called timeout. 4:45 remaining in this third quarter. Talk about two terrific semifinals here to get championship weekend started at Homewood. Northwestern, the 4-seeded Wildcats, started on a 6-0 scoring run. They led for 57.5 minutes of the game. North Carolina ended the game on an 8-0 run. Came down from 7 goals with 10 minutes to go. So the top-seeded Tar Heels remain undefeated, 21-0. They await the winner of Maryland VC. We couldn't have a more different second semifinal. That seemed like Northwestern was running away with it. Then North Carolina, the amazing comeback. These two teams, not much to separate them all afternoon long.
You have a feeling it's going to come down the wire between these two teams. See if we can listen in a little bit at Maryland.
Good opportunity to remind everybody the championship on ESPN for the first time, noon Eastern time on Sunday. For more information, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Look at the recent champions. Obviously, Boston College, the reigning champs. Maryland, the 4 titles in 6 years. James Madison's the outlier when you look at the 4 teams that made the Final Four this season. The perennial powers, if you will, had combined for 15 of the last 16 titles. James Madison being the only one not coming from either Northwestern, Maryland, Boston College, or North Carolina.
Those top 4 seeds, I told you I call them my dinner party answers, because when somebody asks you, oh, women's lacrosse, who's good, you're going to mention Maryland, Boston College, Northwestern. It's just been unbelievable. North Carolina, you got to round out those top 4 programs who've had so much success. And unbelievable, that first semifinal game, I haven't seen anything like it, and I've seen so much women's lacrosse. The comeback, the change of momentum, the lightning delay.
And North Carolina powering through quite the deficit, and it really was the transfers in Andy Aldave and Sam Geiersbach. But we talk about it all the time, Sheehan and Jay. They remember that pain, so they were not going out without swinging and fighting to make it to that championship Sunday.
Just the emotion, too. I mean, Dana, you were down there, but just seeing the so much excitement from UNC, and deservedly so for that comeback. But the tears of joy, and then you look at Northwestern and just the heartbreak, and you can feel it. I mean, it was for both teams, the highs and lows, the difference of winning and defeat, but so much emotion in that first game.
And not to bring up bad memories, but on this field, you suffered a triple overtime defeat to Maryland in the national championship game. You know what it's like.
I was ready for you to bring it up, and we were down 7 goals, and we battled back, and I had some teammates texting, did this bring back memories? I feel like I'm going to throw up. We were not able to come back, but it's the memories that last a lifetime. There's something about it. I told some of these players, cement these memories in your head. Get on the field, bounce that ball, look up at the sky, look up at the fans, and remember this, because you're going to remember this feeling. You may not remember everything that happened in the game, you'll remember the feeling.
Shooting space.
I hear you. Thank
And
you.
more accordingly, his goggles flew off too, and she was still able to make that feed across the 12.
Sends the freshman Jordan Lipkin to the 8-meter.
Great look here. So now you see the positioning of the defense. Defenders on both sides of Lipkin.
Rachel Hall's only made 2 saves today. Lipkin right into the chest of Hall. Terrific stop. Maryland reloads. Here's Ahern, the junior, down the right alley. Tees up man, another terrific stop, kick save, and a beauty for Rachel Hall. Battle for the ground ball. Stays with Maryland. 2 big saves for Rachel Hall on this possession.
Sometimes that's all a goalie needs, to get a couple quick saves, get the momentum. You see her bouncing in cage after those saves.
She was almost in a full split and then popped right back up.
I can't imagine being shot with those balls that are like 70 miles an hour, but I guarantee you the goalies tell you it doesn't hurt as much when you save them.
I think they're a lot tougher than us, Sheehan.
Yes, yes.
Maybe Jay. I could see Jay in the cage.
No. I want to be as far away as the cage as possible.
You claim to be an athlete. You said that you could beat Sheehan and I in a race.
I did say
night.
that, but goalkeepers, I don't need to. I guess, I'm more of a sprinter than a goalie. But for very short distances. And you two would probably still have me both beat.
You've got some great Glory Day basketball stories.
I am down to race after the game, if anyone has any energy after these 2 semifinals.
Let's do it. 100-yard race.
Ahern trying to get those hands free. Settles it down. 40 seconds left on the shot clock. It's been a long Maryland possession. May's open and scores! Libby May, perfectly timed cut. That's a hat trick for the junior out of Sparks, Maryland.
That's where Libby May is dangerous, inside the 8-meter. 64th goal of the season for the junior. Look at her highlighted in yellow. She just waits for her defense. She just, it's a split second, knows she's going to be open. You see her, she's topside the defender, slits down the middle. Lipkin's able to find her. Excellent placement of the shot. So tough for the goalies to make that. You're focused on the feeder. When it goes into the inside, in front of the 8-meter, in front of the cage, you've got to turn, figure out where to go. Public health science major, she wants to be a PA, and her older sister, Katie May, played for Maryland 2018 to 21. On that 2019 championship team.
And I love how different the May sisters are. So Katie May, her older sister, played behind the net a lot, and you see Libby May, a lot of speed up top, so it's interesting how they can be so different, but both fit the Maryland style of lacrosse.
Backhand over the center, please.
It's been quite a few sisters. I mean, lacrosse is a sport that runs deep in a lot of families, but a lot of sisters on this Maryland team throughout the years.
It didn't go high enough.
Nobody knows lacrosse running deep in a family like the Stanwyck family.
That's what I was going to say. She's one of 8, right, Sheehan?
One of 8. There is a lot of us, too.
All played Division I lacrosse. Incredible. I want ESPN Plus to do some sort of Stanwyck cast like we do the Manning cast, which just won an Emmy at the Sports Emmys earlier this week.
I'm not going to put our commentary up with the Manning, so.
Great cause turnover for Boston College. A little more than 2 minutes left to this 3rd quarter. Boston College with their backs against the wall, trailing by 2. Charlotte North, a hat trick in the first half, has been scoreless in this 3rd quarter. Bell Smith's been scoreless on the game. Those are the 2 first-team All-Americans for BC. Maryland does so well taking your best players out of the flow.
They do. They help play great help defense. Never leave anybody on an island. They're always sending a double team very quickly. That was a little bit later than usual, but an excellent control inside.
Sterling out of her cage, picks up the ground ball and starts the clear. 8 saves now for Emily Sterling.
It was interesting in that last huddle with the Maryland. She said, take your time on the defensive transition into the offense. We don't have to race ourselves. If you have to go back, switch the field, really take your time. But not too much time, because then you get a turnover and a back check.
Holly Schleicher.
She's unbelievable on the turf, and I love it. Not only can she pretty much win any ground ball on the field, she protects her sticks so well. I have not seen her back checked or the ball taken away. She's got excellent stick protection and speed through traffic.
And she's not very big. She's pretty petite, and she's able to hold her own. Really strong.
She is small but mighty. Medjid here with a great check. And then Schleicher, who we've nicknamed Miss Pac-Man, just gobbles up the balls on the turf, whether it's on the draw circle or on the open field.
Schleicher, a first cousin of Belle Smith. Those two grew up on Long Island playing lacrosse together, developing a love for the game together. Even though Schleicher's older, she's a junior, Belle Smith only a sophomore. It was Belle that committed to Boston College first, and Schleicher said, well, I only know playing lacrosse with you, so I'm just going to follow you there. And she has been so instrumental in the draw control circle, defensively, and of course, if there's a ball on the turf, Holly Schleicher's not far away. She's got a nose for it.
She has been a showstopper. Acacia Walker calls her high value in that she makes it all happen. You see her stats tonight: 2 caused turnovers, 5 draws, 1. She is mighty and relentless.
We have more than enough time to be picky. Let's be picky right now. Here we go. BC locks on 3. 1, 2, 3. BC locks.
Yeah, you hear Acacia Walker, Boston College head coach Charlotte North in the BC huddle there. I love what North just said to her teammates. There's still a lot of time left in this game. We can afford to be picky.
Wait for the right opportunity. Don't force it.
And I love North's voice in those huddles, being that third, fourth coach, and she's empowering her teammates. She said everyone has permission to take a second, breathe, and step out. She's giving her team that confidence.
And obviously, the human highlight reel that is Charlotte North is so fun to watch. The goals she scores, the draws she wins, but more than anything, and speaking with her yesterday, just the little girls around the country that look up to her in a sport that, you know, hasn't had the access previously on TV like it's been in the last couple of years. The final being on ESPN for the first time this season. And Charlotte said, when I was growing up, I had to pay behind a paywall to just watch Kayla Trainer at Syracuse. Now the access is all right there, and you can grow up and have a role model to root for like Charlotte North.
It's amazing. In BC, they've had their stadiums packed for their home games. This is an awesome night display of the fans. They stuck out the weather in the early game, repacked the stands. So many fans out there dreaming to play on this stage.
There's a lot of little girls lined up on this fence, and all of their favorite players are Charlotte North. They said it in unison to me before the game when I asked. So she's inspiring that next generation of little laxers, and it's really impressive and endearing to see.
And our fellow first-team All-American, Belle Smith, tees up Kayla Martello. Smith was hit as she released it, and Kayla Martello in perfect position to catch and score. Look at that reaction from Acacia Walker. BC back within 1.
Right there, wasn't ready to go. And Martello's able to grab this one. Sterling well outside the crease. And that pass gets deflected too. Somehow Martello's able to grab a handle of it. You can see Smith just jump with excitement.
Boston College goal scored by number 38, Kayla Martello. Her 3rd goal of the championship and 44th of the season.
It's a hat trick for Kayla Martello today. 2nd straight goal for the sophomore. Charlotte North and Boston College back in the draw control circle.
She has it! 3!
Ready?
So I'm thinking when Charlotte North yells, she has it. What she's saying is that that ball's positioned in Ahern's stick.
Accordingly, denied by Rachel Hall. Full field pass, picks out Charlotte North. Tried to bulldoze through Maryland. call against the Terps with the third quarter clock comes to a close.
At the end of 3,
We had a one-goal game in our first semifinal, a thrilling fourth quarter comeback for North Carolina, and we head to the fourth quarter and another one-goal game. Not much to separate. Two-seeded Terps playing in their home state. Acacia Walker and Boston College, the reigning champs, down 1, headed into the fourth quarter. Well, it simply does not get bigger or better than this. Championship weekend semifinal number 2. North Carolina awaiting the winner of Boston College and Maryland. Sheehan, Stanwick, Birch, Dana Boyle down on the sideline. Jay Alter with you. Sheehan, there is not much to separate these two outstanding teams. So much talent on the field, and we've got a one-goal game entering the fourth quarter.
Unbelievable. 15 minutes separate these teams from advancing to the national championship game to take on North Carolina. It's been back and forth, the changing of possessions, the momentum. Not much separating both these programs.
Holly on! Cass, go to her win! Go to her win!
Okay. Hands over center. Hands over center. Good. Good. Leave them. Ready?
Underway in this fourth quarter. After Boston College won the first 6 draw controls of this game, Maryland starting to dominate in the circle. 15-10 now. They've had more possession. It's allowed them to take slight control, nose in front in that third quarter. What do they need to do in this fourth quarter to protect the one-goal lead and claim a spot in the championship?
I mean, they've been really efficient on their offense. 11 goals on 18 shots. BC's got a lot more shots than them, 29 shots. So we've got to limit, keep on trying, making it harder for BC to go to goal and score. I think they need to get Aurora accordingly involved, even though she is being face guarded. You see her, number 45 in white.
All the way at the bottom of your screen, being completely shut off.
Which is such an interesting strategy. Sometimes you see the girl who's being face guarded fully pull herself out the play like you're seeing with Aurora accordingly, or they put themselves in the middle. It's interesting the tactics when you are being face guarded, but really selfless move to make it that 6v6 game for her Maryland offense.
And it opens things up. You can take her out. There's a lot more space for other people to operate. Before, she was working a little pick game, trying to get possession, working off ball.
Great recovery. Lubecker scooped it up. Had a step on Melanie Welch and makes Boston College pay.
You see the fight for every ground ball. 61st goal this season for Hannah Lubecker. The junior just goes to cage hard, gets the ball knocked away, and then the re-dodge. Able to get the defenders on her backside, the switch of the hands again. She loves that little head fake there. All you want to do as an offensive shooter is make the goalie freeze for a second. Watch her little head dip down. It just causes any shift of movement, whether you do it with a fake with your stick, your head, or a shoulder. You're just trying to get the goalie to freeze and add in a little bit of deception.
Closed. And then it both opened.
Kathy Reese's team has been a fixture during championship weekend. They've been to 12 of the last 13 as we continue to listen into the draw control circle battle.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere yet. We're not going anywhere yet. You're good right there. You hold. Hold. Ready.
What a handle. The wrist strength there of Ahern, able to just control that out of the air.
Shaylin Ahern has made the necessary adjustment. Again, started 0 of 6. Since then, Maryland's won 16 of 20. And speaking with Ahern yesterday, she said that her style is kind of like a chameleon. Counters her opponent, constantly adapting. Well, she has made the right counter today. And she is getting the better of Charlotte North at the draw control circle.
And she also told us that since the 3rd grade, she knew she wanted to be a Terp. So this means something just a little bit more. She's living out her dream here in the semifinal matchup.
Yeah, a Maryland native, and again, you watch Kathy Reese lead this Terps team to 12 of 13 championship weekends growing up in this state. How do you not want to be a Terp? Winning 5 national championships in that time, and they're eyeing number 6. What a pass by Lubecker, controlled by Clevenger, who's fouled.
Second half. 28, second half. 28, second half.
So here's the sophomore, Eloise Clevenger. One-on-one with Rachel Hall.
Please, Red.
Charges in and scores! Went right over Hall's helmet, and it's a 3-goal lead for Maryland.
Maryland has just been so efficient on their offensive end. Second goal tonight for the sophomore Clevenger. This all starts for Lubecker. The feed inside, it draws the foul. That easily could have been a card, looked like contact there. But Clevenger able to get to the 8-meter, fire this one in. Maryland creating some separation. 13-10, they lead the reigning national championship team, Boston College.
2 coaches that both played their college career at Maryland. Kathy Reese now coaching her alma mater. Acacia Walker coaching Boston College, trying to dethrone her alma mater. Maryland, just when these 2 players or coaches played there, and really since, you would argue, the beginning of time, Maryland has just dominated this sport.
And so many great runs that they've had. The 7 straight national championships.
Ooh, can we get parallel first?
95 to 2001, okay. Amazing run.
Come on up, parallel.
And Kathy Reese, she's had 12 national championships as a player and a coach. 5 as a head coach at Maryland.
Good. Everyone's
so
good.
much success.
50-50 here. Don't.
For Acacia Walker.
Hold it.
She held that trophy as a head coach for the first time a year ago.
I'm not going anywhere till I'm set.
Inners, Abby.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
Really long draw control set up here between Ahern and North.
Ready?
Abby Bosco tracks it down. Big Ten Defender of the Year, transfer from Penn. Lost the handle though, BC has it. Eagles trailing by 3. We saw in the first semifinal North Carolina erase a 7-goal deficit with 10 minutes left of the 4th quarter. So BC down, but certainly nowhere near out of the semifinal.
That's something that Acacia Walker said coming out of the huddle, and she's right. There's about 11 minutes left. That's a lot of time, but it does take managing the emotions. You can't get too high, you can't get too low when you're down in a net deficit like that, and you can't force things.
Bell Smith hit by Bosco. This will be an 8-meter for the sophomore.
Watch the extension of the arms into the body. Smith on that outside hash mark, so not a great angle. We'll see if she tries to penetrate inside or just hold possession.
Smith had 7 goals in the quarterfinal win against Loyola. She is scoreless in today's semifinal. Takes it to goal, bounces it home. Bell Smith, how did she find the angle?
That's what a leader does. Beautiful take to cage, Bell Smith. She looks like she's gonna feed it in. Somehow she's able to get in. Not much of an angle there at all, and gets pushed inside. Watch the check on her back. She actually asked the official. She wanted a foul after that shot. great heads-up play here, and her just fighting for every inch to get an angle.
ACC Rookie of the Year a year ago. She has backed up her sophomore season and been even better. Acacia Walker, BC head coach, telling us this week she, and not just the scoring and what she does defensively as a two-way midfielder, but her leadership as well.
Was praising just her social awareness, the way she reacts to the team, what she says and fires everybody up. And when you talk to Balzman, she is so proud of her teammates and loved getting the ACC Rookie of the Year last year. But she said, this year I'm a sophomore, I want to be compared to everybody. I want to be, one of the best players in the nation. I don't want to just be considered the best out of the freshman class from last year. I want that to continue. So high goals and a real superstar.
Maryland continues to dominate the draw control circle. That's the story of this game. After Boston College won the first 6, it's been all Maryland since. Terps trying to cling to a 2-goal lead, book a spot in Sunday's championship game at noon on ESPN.
Great send of the double for Boston College. Forces Lubecker out.
That was an adjustment coming from Jen Kent, the defensive coordinator. We got to have better on-ball pressure, and then we have to communicate with that second slide and then recover.
Great cut! Spectacular finish! Grace Griffin, the 3-time captain, comes up clutch.
What a beautiful catch to the inside and quick stick finish. 3-time All-Big Ten selection, 3-time captain. Part of that 2019 championship team. Griffin circled up top, Lipkin behind the cage, getting her defender to move. And the catch and release. Gets it on that left-hand side, then fires it across her body. So tough to stop. Beautiful job. The catch and release are really fun to watch.
No, she's not Maryland's leading scorer, but I think you got to put a double on her. If she's in the 8-meter like that, she does have a sharp shot. Boston College has to make that adjustment defensively. They can't let any Maryland player be that wide open without a double team, a little bit more pressure on ball.
She's the only Maryland player that has been on this stage before. Played in that 2019 national championship. All of her teammates, this is their first experience of championship weekend.
This is a Maryland team also, that one of those players that was on that roster, Tori Beretta, the captain, tore her ACL before the regular season Hopkins game. She's been sidelined, so the defense had to adjust and make some adjustments, but another one of those players, we've seen too many of them, leading from the sideline with season-ending injuries. But Beretta giving a lot of the newer players, just telling them what it was like, what's it to expect on Final Four weekend. But Grace Griffin, as you said, the only one on the field that had real playing time right now.
Terps give possession away, but Maryland has now won the last 7 draw controls. Point that out because it makes it difficult to come back on a team that's winning possession so frequently.
And a big part of that draw control, Jay, for Maryland is Abby Bosco. She is everywhere over the field.
So fun to watch. The Big Ten Defender of the Year transfer for Penn. North earns herself an 8-meter.
No, she was in there. She gets that one.
North able to draw the shooting space.
Feet out. White, we're going to go feet back.
You hear the officials positioning everything. Get your feet outside the 8-meter. Get your sticks outside the 8-meter.
This is appointment viewing when Charlotte North steps up for a free position. This time charges in and scores! Decided not to rear back and fire. Instead, went right to goal. Her first goal of this second half comes in a huge moment for Boston College.
When Boston College has Charlotte North on the 8-meter, you never know what to expect. I mean, looks like North a little shaken up, getting off her stick back. The defense doesn't know if she's going to step and rip it. We saw her do that earlier for her score. Look at the push from behind as well. Or she's going to take it in. She told us yesterday that she kind of studied some of her tendencies and what the scout would be like on her, and realized a lot of teams are ready for her to step and take that one step and shot. That she wants to oftentimes bring that inside and run it in.
I love the awareness from Charlotte North. You think a player like that who just comes off a Tewaaraton season wouldn't necessarily find areas of her game that she gets better, but she is so deceptive, and I think that's what makes her such a smart player and a good example for any young player watching. You can always get better, and she finds little angles to do that.
Good.
Yep, mixing things up, and she said sometimes it is just really just trying to be deceptive, that she'll try to mix things up, or she'll see what the defense is doing and seeing how are they positioning for me, just thinking that I'm going to just rip this shot right now, or do I've got an advantage to run it in.
North back on the draw. Boston College wins it. Ali Schleicher with plenty of speed decides to pull it out and set up a settled offensive possession for Boston College, looking for back-to-back goals to bring the Maryland lead back within one. North barking orders at her offensive teammates. 4 goals to her name today. Just scored her first of this second half, though. North calling for it, they don't give it to her. Instead, trying to thread the needle inside. Couldn't quite squeeze it through, and it's Maryland who comes up with possession.
That's a pass inside I think that BC would like back, a little force.
Aiden Peduzzi comes up with the biggest ground ball of the game. Maryland takes it full field.
Maryland in transition can be so dangerous. You see the Maryland flags on display, lots of red shirts. Lubacher's having a night, 5th goal tonight. Like how she changed things up. This was not about speed. This was just about placement. Just turns on the jets, gets the separation. Excellent placement of the shot. Doesn't go for anything flashy. Beautiful job evading the pressure. And again, you see how these shooters can be so effective, getting to the inside. We've seen a lot of low angle shots that score. But ideally, you want to get to the center of the field. And tonight, Maryland has been so effective. 65% shooting percentage, 15 goals on 23 shots. When you talk to the coaching staff, typically their goal is to be above 50%. So this is huge and well above their season average. They're at 47.6% on the season. So having a field day shooting tonight.
And I'm having some flashbacks, into the 2019 game where Maryland scored off of all of the errors that Boston College had, and you saw that feed that they probably forced in a little bit. They capitalized in that transition, and Maryland, they'll prey on your mistakes. I've played them many a times, never beat them at Virginia, so they are very good at that.
Back-to-back draw control wins for Boston College. If they're going to come back in this game, they'll need more possession. Maryland has dominated possession, not just in this game, but all season long. #1 team in the country in time of possession. So good at wearing teams down, so tough to come back against. What does Boston College need to do in the final 8 minutes, Sheehan, to come back like we saw North Carolina do in the first semifinal?
Realize that there's a ton of time left. 8 minutes is an eternity. Keep working the ball.
Mossman, the lefty, so crafty, weaved her way in. Quick finish, and Boston College with the immediate answer.
BC needs to have more of that. Balzman, who had a great NCAA tournament last year, 38th goal this season, leads the team with 28 assists on the season. Great setup here. Medjid with the ball, gets the hesitation, the defender. Actually, I don't think that pass was intended for Balzman, but she's still able to connect with it. Maybe Belle Smith thought it was for her, but regardless, #7, Caitlin Balzman takes and handles the pressure.
Her 38th goal of the season, 2nd assist on the championship. Number 35, Jen Medjid.
So many of these stars on these teams are from the Maryland area, with lots of family and friends.
Okay, we're gonna slow it down.
And Bosman, she was a main passer last year. She really popped onto the scene, and she's been so much more assertive as a shooter, especially in the postseason.
Something, okay? Yeah. Let's hold it and go parallel, please. Parallel, get out of your way.
50!
Don't. Yeah, I'm not doing. We're way too low, so we're gonna come up a little bit right there. UK white there. Okay, you're good. And move your finger, okay? Yep. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Sticks are there. Sticks are there. We're holding. You got to go parallel, and I'm going to lead. Ready.
The 32nd draw of a hotly contested game between 2-seeded Maryland and number 3 Boston College. Goes the Terps' way. Yellow card, green card coming out.
I believe it's for playing without a stick. I'm not sure what happened on that play.
Yeah, you're correct, Sheehan. 16, Andrea Reynolds lost her stick in the shuffle, and then she just decided to box out like in basketball, so that'll be a green card.
You can't do that. So a green card is a 1-minute penalty. It is releasable on a score. But that's something, so it gets tangled up. Yeah, you got, once you lose your stick right there, you can't continue to play anymore. So you got to, that's good call by the officials there.
But appreciate the hustle. Just trying to box out. Basketball skills.
So good opportunity for Maryland, and look for them to utilize, work this penalty.
Plenty of room, and the freshman converts. Jordan Lipkin cashes in on the woman up opportunity and restores Maryland's 3-goal lead.
Lipkin able to cash in. Just such an excellent shooter. Number 8 recruit as a freshman coming in, gets her 2nd goal tonight. Great pass from Shannon Smith. So much space, you just see the separation, and that's what happens when you're playing woman down. You got to be covering space, and somebody's going to be open. Lipkin just has so much time and room here. And just pinging the corners. Great job. This shot goes right next to the far post. So the penalty will be released back to even strength.
5 goals on 5 shots this quarter for Maryland. They have had Rachel Hall's number in this semifinal.
Bottom, bring your bottom arm over. Good, good, good. Hold it there. Hold it there, White. Pinch it. Pinch it, White. Ready?
Reynolds comes up with a draw control win after she was penalized for playing without her stick just a moment ago. Timeout taken by Boston College. That's the final timeout that Acacia Walker had at her disposal. So BC will go the final 7 minutes and 4 seconds without a timeout.
So it is time, crunch time right now. 7 minutes to go. I mean, after the first game, when we saw UNC just explode in the final minutes in their comeback, scoring 8 straight goals.
One goal mark, okay?
Let's listen to this huddle.
Right now, Griffin on this elbow, Bell and Cass on the back, Bell and Jen on the backside, okay? Right, draw them off, have them come, and backside be organized. Neon? Yep, Neon, but listen. And then you'll go on that side. On the elbow. Listen, we're in power. That means we're in hurry up offense, okay? Because we've got to put 3 together quickly. So we're not like in, we can't be casual about our time. We got to go aggressively without making casual errors, okay? Yeah. Defensively, if we don't score, we're going to be in black. Right? So you got to hedge out and take some risks, okay? And we're in our black defense. Need ball. Okay? Here you go, guys. Let's go. Nothing like that. We've got good momentum here. Come on. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go. Together. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go, Cheetah. We don't score. We're in Cheetah. Okay? Cheetah into black. Let's go. Here we go.
Here we go. Together. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Together. We do this every day.
Love the insight in there, and I like the timing of this too, utilizing that last timeout, but also telling the team, we got to go now. On offense, we got to be in a hurry-up offense. We got to be aggressive, go to the ball. On defense, we need to pressure out, take some risks. You don't want to wait too long to go into this. You have to have the urgency.
What a great crowd we've had for both our semifinals today, even through a 90-minute weather delay. Could not have asked for two better games. 4 perennial powers in this sport. 15 of the last 16 championships have belonged to our 4 Final Four teams this season. Maryland with 7 minutes and 4 seconds to cling to this 3-goal lead in advance to the national championship. BC has not scored back-to-back goals since the middle of the second quarter. Makes it hard to come back, but they've got the ball. Out of the Acacia Walker timeout, 8-meter opportunity for Jen Medjid.
Emily Sterling, you saw her close her eyes. She told that's how she resets right before the 8-meter. Takes a breath, closes her eyes for a second, and thinks about saving the ball.
Boston College 3 of 5 on the 8-meter today. Medjid charges in, beats Sterling. Third goal for Jen Medjid. The biggest one of the game for BC. They're back within 2.
Jen Medjid climbing the ranks, the senior, 7th in program history in career goals. Explodes off the 8-meter. Precise finish, very tough for Sterling to make that save, that off-stick side. Medjid been such an offensive leader. Look at her follow-through of that shot, just beautiful placement. 4 goals on 4 shots this quarter.
We've yet to see a goalie make a save in this 4th quarter. It is all offense in our second semifinal here at Homewood Field. They've been playing lacrosse on this field in Baltimore since 1908. Home to so much star power. Charlotte North ranks among the best of them that have ever graced this field. Huge draw control for North and BC. Maryland continues to dominate the draw. That's what makes them so difficult to come back in a game where Maryland can control the circle, control the time of possession like they've done in this second half.
See the aggressiveness for BC on defense.
Hall came out of her cage. Crease violation. Peduzzi entered the crease, and it's BC ball. You heard in the Acacia Walker huddle, they were going to turn up the heat defensively, and they create the turnover. Here's Charlotte North. 4 goals to her name today. Asking her teammates to clear out. She wants isolation. North on the move. Double team comes in. Passes out of it. North with Boston College's back pressed against the wall. Shoots and scores! Charlotte North buries it. 5th goal of the day and brings Boston College back within 1.
Charlotte North just doing Charlotte North things. I don't know how she got that goal in. Shoots it from the outside, gets her 5th goal of the night. What a setup. She's at about the 7th meter, and you just see the power. switches hands, change the direction, the overhand shot, the placement. Gets this BC team back within one.
She's got to add that to the highlight reel, Sheehan.
Unbelievable.
5 shots, 5 goals for Boston College. The all-time leading scorer in the history of the sport. Charlotte North adds another to her tally. Her college career in jeopardy of coming to a close. And she delivers on the biggest of stages yet again. We saw her do it a year ago when Boston College won the national championship. She won the Tewaaraton because of it, and now trying to put together another just speechless performance in this semifinal. Back into the draw. North trying to win it to herself. Abby Bosco comes away with it. Boy, she has been terrific on the draw control circle, Abby Bosco.
One of the things she says when she's on the draw circle, she thinks about is just keep going after the ball. You never know where it's going to go. You never know whose stick it's going to bounce off of. You just have to track it.
Maryland trying to cling to a 1-goal lead. Back-to-back goals for BC. 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in regulation. Kathy Reese still has 1 timeout at her disposal. Boston College out of timeouts for the remainder of the game. First consecutive goals for BC this half, and they've come at the perfect time, Sheehan. Back and forth game between these 2 terrific teams. So much talent on the field. Now, we talk a lot about Charlotte North, and rightly so, but it's not just her. There's everywhere you look between these 2 teams. There's outstanding talent.
Unbelievable. You look at this game summary, 10 goals on 10 shots this quarter for the teams.
Locked off, and Jason's locked off. Okay, first pass out, get in. Let's get the ball back. Do not foul. You guys, attackers, hey, attackers, lock off. Lock off. Nothing goes backwards, okay?
What's going to separate these 2 teams down the stretch?
It's going to be the heart and hustle right now. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go between extending your season in the national championship game or ending it. The 50-50 balls. You just got to leave it all out in the field right now. It's been such a back and forth game for both these teams.
I was in the Maryland huddle, Sheehan, and Lori Kennis, the defensive mastermind from Maryland, went around to individual players and just said, be confident to each individual one, and then also relax.
Easier said than done. I'm sure the nerves are in overload for both of these teams. You work so hard from the time you're growing up in elementary school all the way to now. For a lot of these players, your college career could be coming to an end in the final 5 minutes here.
But sometimes it takes a coach or a player to give you that sort of perspective to say, hey, we got a good amount of time on the clock. We have the ball if you're Maryland. And you need a player or a coach that can sort of reset you and bring you back down, feet on the ground.
You can see the aggressiveness of Boston College. They need the ball back.
I was just about to ask you, how aggressive would you be if you're BC? Because now you've got the lead back down to 1. I got it when you were down by 3. Plenty of time left. You just need a stop. You don't necessarily need a takeaway, right?
Which I think is why they're back down the 8-meter. I think they were hoping for maybe a turnover right on the restart.
Coming out of that huddle, they wanted to wait to around 30 seconds. They wanted to work the ball around 2 times, which is a great strategy. But if you have the lane, you got to take it.
Accordingly's been shut off most of this game. The Tewaaraton finalist has it here, 45 in white. The Canadian national team member passes it off, now gets it back. Maryland's leading scorer in attack mode, dispossessed. Cassidy Weeks with an excellent check to win possession for Boston College.
That was incredible. It is so hard to do that without fouling.
Unbelievable that she was able to get the ball and then evade all that pressure down the field. What composure. The temperature temperature just dropped about 10 degrees too.
It feels good down here.
The wind is blowing.
As the temperature drops, the blood pressure rises. Here's Charlotte North, 5 goals to her name today. Make it 6! Charlotte North ties it at 16!
Unbelievable, 6th goal tonight, but this starts with the defensive end. Aurora Courtney with the ball, the best player from Maryland. Cassidy Weeks with the unbelievable takeaway check. North comes down here, the sidearm rip. She just scores in so many different ways, so many different release points, so much power. Charlotte North just does everything on an elevated level. A 3-0 run for Boston College in the last 3 minutes and 52 seconds, all tied up. We're back to the draw circle.
And Charlotte North has the last 2 goals for BC.
It's amazing too. Charlotte North's another one of those humble players. And when you ask her, how do you get so many scoring opportunities? She says, my defense. And you saw that play out. Defense leads to offense.
What a takeaway. I mean, that was that's another highlight reel play, that Cassidy Weeks check and possession.
You say hip level?
Get your bottom hand up, that'll help. Get your bottom hand up.
Where?
There you go. Well, at hip level, if you want these sticks at hip level. All right, bottom hand over, please, Marilyn. Great, here we go, leave them there. Ready?
Jalen Ahern and Charlotte North have taken every single draw. This is the biggest of the bunch, and it's brought in by Shannon Smith, the transfer from North Carolina. Under 3 minutes left in regulation, all tied up at 16. Grace Griffin splits the double team, settles it down for Maryland. Terps have 1 timeout, Boston College out of timeouts. You know who's taking the shot if it were Boston College? That'd be Charlotte North. Who's taking the shot here for Maryland?
I think Lou Becker's been extremely effective from the dodging from up top. Libby May has been able to score pretty much at will as well. They're trying to lock her off. Accordingly, is pulled off to the outside of the play.
Here's Ahern down the left alley. 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Under 2 minutes left in regulation. Lou Becker recovers. 12 seconds left to work with. Lou Becker spinning through traffic. Ball on the turf. BC has it.
Unbelievable defensive effort. What a game.
It's getting physical down here.
No card has come out though. Five seconds separating the game clock and the shot clock. So basically, more or less, Boston College can hold for the final shot of regulation.
And these are situations that you practice day in and day out of practice. What do? Tie ball game. This is the position with the shot clock. So they know they've been coached up to know what you're supposed to do.
You can see Sam Apuzzo on the sidelines who runs the offense. She put in a play card. Uno 8. I don't know what that play means. I might have an idea, but interesting strategy. She got the attention of Charlotte North on the sidelines.
The ball in the stick of the most electrifying player in the sport. 6 goals to her name today. Gives it up. Pass inside. And a goal! Cassidy Weeks fires Boston College in front with 18 seconds left in regulation.
time was on her. She moves it. The feed from Balzman to Weeks. Beautiful job. Unbelievable handle for Cassie Weeks inside and all the traffic. Catches that, almost bops off the top of her stick. Look at her just looking up to it, cradling it tight to hold on possession.
It's Boston College's first lead since it was 6-5. Maryland had a 3-goal lead with under 7 minutes to play. A 4-0 run from the Eagles to grab the lead with 18 seconds left. Let's listen into the draw.
All right, I'm going to open the sticks and then I'm going to close the sticks. I hear you. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's reset. Here we go. Here we go. We got it. Let's go this way. Good. Okay.
Wait, can you
hands over
put the ball in
center?
the middle?
There you go. Yep. Hand over center.
Hip level.
Hand over center. Back hands, back hands. Good. I want these sticks to go up.
Get over it. You start, you start.
Ready?
And Holly Schleicher wins the draw for BC. Maryland needs a takeaway. Ball's loose. Martello has it. The Eagles can feel it. The reigning national champions will have an opportunity to defend their crown. The Eagles end the game on a 4-0 run. Another crazy comeback on this semifinal Friday. And it sets up an all-ACC final in the championship game. Wow.
Another amazing finish. Love the coaching decisions for Boston College as they were down. They wanted to get in that hurry-up offense. They scored quickly, put the pressure on defensively, did all the little things to battle back in this game against a really tough Maryland team.